Caitlin Clark out for the remainder of the 2025 season, something we all think we knew was coming after what Stephanie White said earlier today. We couldn't be too sure until we see it for ourselves. And with this announcement from the GOAT's mouth herself, Caitlin Clark won't be returning.
Caitlin Clark just slammed the brakes on the entire 2025 season, and the internet is melting down like a toaster in a thunderstorm. With a single statement, she's left fans torn between crying, rioting, or drafting wild conspiracy theories about sports drinks and star signs. This isn't a headline you casually scroll past. It's the kind that grabs your mind, rattles it, and shouts, "Wake up, because the whole game just flipped."
At this point, but still incredibly disappointing, Caitlin Clark officially done for the 2025 WNBA season, as she and the Fever announced on social media. The Fever and Clark saying that she tried to get back on the floor. It appears that she just ran out of time, not able to get enough confidence back in her body as the season wraps up and the playoffs are likely about to begin for Indiana. I mean, it's a gut punch that basically encompasses an entire...
And now we're staring down the gut-wrenching possibility that Caitlin Clark's basketball fairy tale may have lost its final page far too soon. The same phenom who packed every arena like a sold-out rock concert, who made even the most casual viewers suddenly care about women's basketball, is now stuck on the sideline, looking more and more like the most heartbreaking what-if of this generation. Let's be real, the whispers have already begun. Is this the end? Could a single injury wipe away the hype, the records, the highlight reels, and reduce her legacy to nothing more than the cruel label of a one-season wonder?
This, I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me and for the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in...
Because here's the harsh truth. The sports world has the memory span of a goldfish. One day you're the golden child of basketball. The next you're reduced to a trivia note while everyone argues about whether the rookie of 2026 is the next big thing. Clark gave us a season that looked like the rocket launch to superstardom, one of those rare, unforgettable runs. But now she's stuck with a medical file that makes even her most loyal fans nervously Google stories of athletes who never bounced back. It's cruel, but that's how sports works. It doesn't care how many jerseys you sold or how many kids covered their walls with your posters. All it cares about is whether you can keep stepping on the court.
I've lost so many players to injury, but obviously none bigger than Clark. And there was such a wait for this second season after her magnificent rookie season. And then, you know, the anticipation of her possibly coming back, only for that not to happen, takes a lot of air out of the room, obviously takes a lot of energy out of the fans, and is a devastating blow for not just the Fever and the WNBA. But the good news is her career is not over. But, you know, it's a tough blow when it all comes crashing down like that. And, you know, ever since Stephanie White...
Right now, Caitlin Clark isn't showing up on the hardwood. She's showing up behind microphones, delivering carefully polished statements that reek more of damage control than determination. The energy isn't "I'll be back stronger." It's closer to "please don't forget about me while I disappear into the endless grind of rehab limbo."
Hey, so now, I don't know who asked the question. The young lady, shout out to you. She said, "Hey, are you guys gonna make an announcement?" Like that, like, I appreciate you at least. You didn't say it as blunt as I would have, but you said it. You asked the question. Hey, because now she's saying, yeah, you know, the plan on this West Coast trip was to evaluate. How you gonna evaluate her if she never had contact? What's the evaluation? She's been able to shoot jump shots. She's been able to run up and down the court by herself with nobody touching her. What was there to evaluate? Now you're pushing it through the weekend, leading us on, having us dangling.
And of course, the trolls are having their parade. The same people who couldn't even spell her name a year ago are suddenly self-certified orthopedic experts. They are already declaring she'll never dribble again, slapping the Greg Oden label on her before she's even cashed her second paycheck. It's savage, but that's the internet. If you're not performing, you're just fresh material. Some athletes snap back like they are made of rubber bands. Others crumble like a stale cookie. And right now, no one knows which side of that line Clark will fall on. She could be the cautionary tale everyone cites when reminding themselves that hype doesn't guarantee longevity. The speed of the turn is almost cruel. Not long ago, she was torching defenses, dropping buckets like a cheat code, and grinning through post-game interviews as if she'd cracked the code to basketball itself.
Folks, my hot take from earlier this year, all of a sudden, not so hot. Caitlin Clark announced that she's going to be out for the rest of the season. Obviously, a nice little post here thanking her teammates, saying she fought back, was in the gym trying to come back. She wanted to, but Caitlin Clark not returning for the rest of the season. It makes sense considering where the Fever are at in the playoffs right now. Right now, they are making the playoffs. They're the 8th seed, so it would be the final seed there. But are they going to make much noise? Chloe Bibby just went out for the rest of the season. She was one of the...
Every update on her condition now reads like the script of a daytime soap. Will she return? Will she look the same? Is her confidence cracked? Stay tuned. Fans aren't replaying her highlights anymore. They are parsing through medical jargon because it's easier than facing the possibility that maybe, just maybe, they already witnessed her peak. The brutal truth is that not every career ends with farewell tours and standing ovations. Some just stop. For every comeback icon, there are a dozen forgotten names collecting dust in trivia questions. And honestly, why would anyone remember them? The media isn't making it any better. They are already churning out think pieces questioning if Clark was overrated, a product of hype, or proof that women's basketball still can't sustain a singular superstar like the men's game can. It's draining, but that's the cycle. That's how this machine works.
Out for the rest of the WNBA season. She had posted this whole statement on Instagram as well as the Fever officially announcing it just now here on this Thursday evening. And there have been some talks about from the Fever staff about her potentially trying to come back, and they had kind of been trying to drag this out as much as possible over the course of this season, but there simply seems to just not be enough time in this season for them to fully feel comfortable in getting her healthy. And the message that has been sent has always been the most important thing is her long-term health. That is what
You can't just be injured anymore. You have to be a symbol. A headline. Something dramatic enough to look good in bold letters on a chyron. So now Clark's knee isn't just a knee. It's the centerpiece of a debate about the future of the sport. And here's the brutal part. She only got one season before it all came crashing down. One electrifying run, one string of viral highlights, 1 year of being the chosen one. If that's the entire resume, what do we call it? True greatness, or just a fleeting fling with destiny? Sports history doesn't love short stories, it worships sagas. That's why the questions won't stop. Will she return to form? Will this injury carve her down to a shadow of what she was? Could the Caitlin Clark era really be ending before it even began? The answers stay just vague enough to keep everyone hooked. And here's the cruel twist. If she never makes it back, her legend might actually grow. Sometimes the athletes who burn out early become the most mythologized. We don't remember what they were. We obsess over what they could have been.
He finally had the balls to ask somebody, hey, are you guys going to make an announcement? You said you're having a meeting. You had your evaluation on the West Coast trip. Now you're going to have a meeting. Are you guys going to let the fans know what the hell is going on? Because y'all keep collecting ticket money. Y'all keep promoting that she's going to be at this arena and that arena. Y'all keep saying that she's day to day. First, we heard she might be back for the Minnesota Lynx the first time we played them a week ago. She wasn't even ready for that. A miraculous ankle injury popped up.
Clark could go down as basketball's ultimate case of lost potential. Forever remembered as the unstoppable force who never got her sequel. In a twisted way, that might even make her larger than if she'd played 10 more seasons as merely great. Sports fans, after all, love their tragedies almost as much as their champions. And that's where we are now. Caitlin Clark, once the unstoppable storm, has become the world's most fascinating question mark. Maybe this injury is just a blip on the radar, a setback on the road to a dominant career. Or maybe it's the closing line of her story. Nobody knows. What we do know is that the world is glued to every update, watching, speculating, obsessing, and yes, quietly reveling in the chaos. The juiciest headline of all. What if she never recovers? That's not just idle speculation. It's the nightmare scenario whispered in group chats and debated in sports bars. Imagine it, the meteoric rise, the savior of women's basketball, transformed into the most high-profile what could have been of the decade. The irony is brutal, like the basketball gods handing over a gift, only to snatch it back before anyone could truly enjoy it.